Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois, and this time we actually have a trailer. So let's watch it, then we'll talk about it. So let's just go. I'm going to be quiet.
We all begin as one version of ourselves. But as we grow, life changes us. Every moment shaping our character, shifting our priorities, stretching every fiber of our being until we think we've lost ourselves to the stress of it all. But that's not true, because under the torn fibers is a stronger person, forged like steel, with the courage to fight for those we love. And what we thought was lost can be found in family.
So that was a very interesting trailer, aesthetically at least. Then there are a few things to talk about content-wise as well from within that. I think it was about 45-second first promo for the show about that, but yeah, we got a few things to talk about, which I'm very curious to see whether they play out or not. But of course, before we go through the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis that's been released, and which gives us more insight into the show and everything like that. But of course, let me know your various opinions in the comment section down below. Are you excited for this show? Obviously, the trailer doesn't give you the best impression. It's not like what you'd usually get, but it gives you sort of like a feel, if that makes sense at the same time. So let me know your various opinions in the comment section down below and any theories you have. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you like that trailer, why not drop a like on the video to show support? In Superman and Lois, after years of facing megalomaniacal supervillains, monsters wreaking havoc on Metropolis and alien invaders intent on wiping out the human race, the world's most famous superhero, the Man of Steel, aka Clark Kent, and comic books' most famous journalist, Lois Lane, come face to face with one of their greatest challenges ever, dealing with all the stress, pressures, and complexities that come with being working parents in today's society. Complicating the already daunting job of raising two boys, Clark and Lois must also concern themselves with whether or not their sons Jonathan and Jordan could inherit their father's Kryptonian superpowers as they grow older. Returning to Smallville to handle some Kent family business, Clark and Lois are reacquainted with Lana Lang, a local loan officer who also happens to be Clark's first love, and her fire chief husband, Kyle Cushing. The adults aren't the only ones rediscovering old friendships in Smallville, as the Kent sons are reacquainted with Lana and Kyle's rebellious daughter, Sarah. Of course, there's never a dull moment in the life of a superhero, especially with Lois's father, General Samuel Lane, looking for Superman to vanquish a villain to save the day at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, Superman and Lois's return to idyllic Smallville is set to be upended when a mysterious stranger enters their lives. So the first thing that a lot of people will be wondering is, when will they release one of those longer promos or just trailers in general you usually get for new shows? As I have said previously, I wasn't too sure if they would actually be doing that because of COVID and there not being a time or place to actually release those long trailers as there normally would be. Usually they release them at like those upfront things, and there wasn't one in time. Well, the show wasn't being filmed in time for one of those. So for Superman and Lois, we should expect trailers like we would normally get for The Flash and other shows like that past their first season. But then again, Batwoman Season 2 got a sort of like similar trailer to what we would normally get for like normal new shows. So maybe a trailer like that for Superman and Lois will drop about a month before the show comes out, which would be towards the end of January as the show premieres on February 23rd. But anyway, onto the actual trailer or promo that was released today. Though limited, it does have a cool style, as I said before. It reminds me of the Fortress of Solitude and certain effects used while in the fortress, like the filter and all that over the trailer. Even just the crystals, if you want to call them, stuff that a lot of images are shown on or shown in, are obviously a direct reference to that, which I thought was pretty cool. Even at the end of the trailer, when the big red S appears, or Superman logo, or House of L, what do you want to call it, it fades in exactly like the Christopher Reeve movies did back in the day into like a new modern logo, which sort of emphasizes what the show's Superman will be like a mix of the old or classic with the new or modern. Now, in the trailer, we do have Superman, obviously speaking over the trailer. Who else would it be? Perry White? No, it's going to be Superman. And he's talking about changes in life that come upon you as you live it, which I think we all have. Now, the rest of the speech isn't too much to dive into in regards to like, oh, this emphasizes what the show's first season will be about or anything like that. But one thing I thought I caught was them showing Clark and Lois holding their baby in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which we all saw in the crossover, and then it fading into Jonathan Kent, who in the show will be the more confident, outgoing, sporty, and just more popular of the two twins. Showing like, oh yeah, this is the baby was meant to like was Jonathan and everything like that. But when it talks about changes and stuff like that, it fades over to Jordan Kent, who is the more introverted and troubled of the two kids, if you want to say. So I do wonder if they play into that maybe Crisis is a reason for the two boys of Clark and Lois being so different, and that maybe Crisis has a negative effect on Jordan, seeing he wasn't there before. I think that could possibly be an interesting take from everything that's been suggested or insinuated. The stranger, who was referenced in the synopsis, is also affected by Crisis. So Crisis is apparently meant to have an effect on the show in a couple of different ways. So it would be interesting if Jordan, the more troubled of the two twins, is affected by it, or just is an effect of Crisis in general. Now, from everything that has been suggested for the show or about the show, Jonathan will be more like the more Superman-like child, like John Kent in the comics, who is the son of Superman and is going to be Superman in the future in DC Comics. And with Jordan, it seems he is going to potentially display more mental-based powers, possibly. It would be like sort of interesting if they played it off that like the two sons replicate the powers of, well, one being Superman-esque and the other being more like Brainiac or something like that, or like a villainous side of like Kryptonians or Krypton that Superman would have faced in the past. That would be quite a risky take, but potentially intriguing and exciting to watch. But with the kids, I don't think you want them running around saving like Smallville or anything like that for a while. Just showing aspects of them being different, struggling through it, whether that's in a good way for them or bad way as well. So we will have to wait and see how it is exactly done by the showrunner and writers and just the show in general. But that could be a potential interesting take. Now, in the background, in parts of the trailer that we do have, we can see the two boys of Jordan and Jonathan just, first arriving at the Kent house in Smallville after moving from Metropolis, which we won't jump into because it's spoilers, but they moved to Smallville, from Metropolis, and seeming to like look at the Kent house in Smallville and going like, damn, we gotta wear overalls and straw hats now? That sucks. But the thing that caught my attention when I first saw it was that it appears to not be the same house used in Smallville. Like the show, like the TV show of Smallville that started like 20 years ago or something, which had been used previously as the Kent household in the Arrowverse. Like, of course, we saw it in Crisis when we went to the Smallville Earth, but even in Elseworld, when we went there, they used that exact same Smallville Kent house from the TV show as the Kent house in the Arrowverse, where Tyler Hoechlin's Clark Kent had been staying. So they've used it before. Now, I'm guessing the reason that they've changed it would be because of like logistical issues at the moment, where they just can't use the house for a series length and multiple seasons. So that could be the case. But it will be interesting to see. What they use for like the farm, like the barn and all of that, if they are included in the show, which I would assume they are, because it seems that they're moving into the Kent house in this show. But I guess that is a wait and see type of thing. Maybe in the longer trailer that we will eventually get over the next month or so, we'll see it there, but we'll have to wait and find out. Now, of course, we already got the first reveal of the new Superman suit for the show like a few weeks back or something like that, which is a very cool suit. And of course, we get to see it again in this trailer or promo. But I am curious as to whether what he is doing in the trailer is from the pilot. Like, is it a part of the action scene, or the pilot or the first episode of the show is like an action scene within there? Like, there will of course be a big action scene at the end of the episode, but we are seeing him grab like steel ropes, if you want to call them, or twines or bindings, whatever you want to call them, and trying to haul something away, or stop it from falling, like hoist it back up from falling. But there's also supposed to be like an introduction scene in the show where it's sort of like flashbacks through Superman's history. That's the way, at least, it's described in the stuff from the first episode, that like it's meant to flashback through stuff. Maybe they scrapped that because it's hard to do, or it just would have taken too much time, but that's what they were initially going for. So we could have seen him doing, or they could have like shown him doing Superman stuff from previous years in his career, if you want to call it. So it would be cool if they show maybe glimpses at old villains he would have taken on and stuff like that. Even just minor Superman villains. I'm not saying like show him versing Lex Luthor if they want to, or Brainiac, or Parasite, or anything like that. Like even just like minor Superman villains they could show him versing, which I think would be pretty cool. And they could do it most likely in the old suit, which we've had, which I'm curious as to whether that appears in the show or not. and then he gets the new suit like towards the end of the episode, or you just start with the new suit when he decides to do Superman stuff and he's just had it. Who knows? We don't know how they're going to do it, but it will be interesting. But that's pretty much all to talk about from this first little promo thing or trailer thing. I was actually surprised when they said they'll bring it out, because like, God, that's early. It's like 2 months before the show comes out. And then when they showed this, I was like, okay, that explains why, because they probably would have released a proper, like, with a lot of footage about a month before the show comes out. It's a bit too early at this point. So yeah, we'll have to wait for, as I said, it should come out about a month before the show actually starts. So keep your eyes out around that time. And around that time as well, we should get like trailers for The Flash as well. As well also. So keep your eyes out at that point. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this. You're excited for the show, everything like that, different theories. Do you agree with any of the stuff I've said in this video as well? Always curious. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.